And since I can't afford a honey badger, I decided to just build my own. This 300 Blackout Beast has a 8.5-inch barrel, followed by a 7-inch handguard from Palmetto State Armory. This upper complete came with the bolt carrier group and charging handle, so that all ran me around $300. This Anderson lower receiver I had during that whole entire ATF free SBR phase, so I had that one SBR just for shits and giggles. Cost me roughly about 50 bucks. The Strike Industries PDW stock, this one is going to be a spring-loaded stock, as opposed to the honey badger. You have to pull that thing out manually. This one cost me roughly about 250 buckaroos. It has a shorter buffer and a heavier spring, so it makes everything a lot more nice and compact. I decided to go with a key micro comp so that I can actually use it with my dead air suppressors and the Romeo and Juliet combo, the Romeo 5 and the Juliet 5 5x magnifier. This cost me roughly about $350. The Radian 45-degree selector followed by the Radian Raptor both cost me roughly about $120 in total, and also the free SBR tax stamp. Obviously that's not going to cost me anything, so this whole entire build cost me roughly about 1,100 buckaroos, as opposed to the Q Honey Badger being roughly about $3,000. I went with the 8.5-inch so that I can actually get the maximum powder burn of 300 Blackout. The 7-inch handguard, I just wanted it to be closer. I would have gone with an 8-inch, but I was afraid that it wouldn't actually fit onto that whole entire chemo system. This build is not meant for long range, but it will reach up to 100 yards, no problem. The difference on this one versus the Honey Badger, this one does not have a hefty price tag and it does not come with an adjustable gas block. But I tuned this thing up so it is functioning perfectly. So in total, this is a pure awesome design. Let's see how she runs. Still pretty loud, but that's why we have the suppressor. The suppressor that I'm going with today is going to be the Dead Air Primal. It's a 46 cal can, but it is a universal can, so it'll take 45 AC, 300 Blackout, 30 caliber bullets, and 5.56 and 9mm as well. So once we actually get it really down low, it's pretty freaking quiet. The whole entire purpose of 300 Blackout is to be as quiet as possible. That's where it really shines. The purpose of this PDW build is so that I can use it in smaller corners, smaller places, or even have it as a smaller storage weapon. So I can keep it inside the truck, or I can keep it around whenever I need it inside of like a backpack or so. Now, I haven't run into any issues with this thing yet, but it is shooting like a dream. So the reason why I have the magnifier and red dot combo is just in case I just want to have that nice little zoom. Otherwise, I'll just be using red dot most of the time at closer ranges. Still works perfect. Phenomenal little tiny build. Now, why did I do a 300 Blackout build as opposed to a 5.56? Honestly, beforehand, I used to be opposed to the 300 Blackout just mainly because of the sheer cost. At the time of it coming out, it was roughly about $2 per round. Nowadays, you can get it for roughly about 70 cents a round on the cheaper end and roughly about $1 a round on the average end. So now that it's a little bit more affordable, it's a fantastic system. With 300 Blackout, you're going significantly slower than a 5.56 traditionally. However, with that 30 caliber bullet being roughly about 120 grains to 147 grains, these things get super quiet and they make a fantastic home defense rifle. With the 300 Blackout, you're getting roughly about 1,600 foot-pounds of force at the muzzle energy. However, with the 5.56, you're getting roughly about 1,200 to 1,300. So it's significantly more in terms of stopping power, and it's going to be a lot quieter, and in terms of home defense, it may end up being a little bit more effective, just as we give a couple examples right here. Now, if we're taking a look at 300 Blackout as a home defense firearm, this is primarily what I actually use it for. I'm not wearing any hearing protection, okay? Inside the home, 5.56, even with the suppressor, is going to be loud as heck. With the 300 Blackout, with supersonic ammunition, it is going to be significantly quieter. I'm not going to require any hearing protection whatsoever. Going to be very uncomfortable. However, it's going to be extremely hearing safe in terms of OSHA standards anyways, you know. So if we're going against steel, if you can hear here, going Going against steel, you're going to hear the steel a lot louder than you would with the actual 300 blackout round. Where the 300 blackout really shines is with subsonic ammunition. I have some Federal 147 grain Subsonics here, and we will be testing it out to see how well it performs in terms of quietness. I'm going to first start off with just paper and see how quiet it actually goes. What that sounded like was pretty much just someone banging a hammer on concrete. It didn't sound like anything whatsoever. Nice and accurate. We'll see how it goes against steel. Now the steel is going to be significantly louder than this shooting just in general. Freaking fantastic and phenomenal. My God, that thing is absolutely quiet. With a build like this, especially in a place where suppressors are still legal in the state of Arizona, it is. I'm not sure about your states. I would definitely highly suggest that 300 blackout for home defense. These things are great. They don't break the bank as much as they used to. This build right here as an SBR probably costs a little bit more. You can get other PDW braces instead of stocks nowadays too, so you can actually have those things built up to your liking. Remember, this whole build only cost me roughly about $1,100. That's with everything to get it actually running. Now with 300 blackout, can you use regular magazines or is just specific 300 blackout magazines? This is just going to be a regular PMag. This is meant for 5.56. We'll see how well it actually feeds and loads. With PMags, they work just fine for 300 blackout. Just make sure if you are doing this, you want to label these things correctly. If you're using 300 blackout through a 5.56 magazine and you put it into a 5.56 build, you essentially have yourself a IED. Now for a budget build, is it really budget? I'd say absolutely it is. For a 300 blackout PDW SBR, it's sitting at 1,100 buckaroos. It's pretty darn good. It works pretty darn well. And I'm still in the break-in process of it right now. I've only shot roughly about 400 or 500 rounds through it, and it's functioning absolutely fine. Would I highly recommend it? Yeah, absolutely. Build your own build, see how it actually goes for you, change out the optics, see which optics work a little bit better for you as well. But in general, the Q Honey Badger, that's way out of my price range. I don't have that type of moolah in order to spend $3,000 on something that I'll probably not shoot that much, just mainly because of the whole entire pricing. If you made it to the end of this video, go ahead and visit this website here and use this code for 10% off everything inside your cart. Like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. And as always, thanks for stopping by.